Okay, so we're going to get started. So I don't want to take too much of y'all's time tonight, but I wanted to talk about teaching online. So I'm getting questions all the time, especially, in this past year, as I started to learn how to do this online, I started getting more questions, kind of like the same thing happened years ago when I was doing paint parties. So I still teach paint parties. So for those of you that don't know me, I teach women how to make money teaching paint parties, in-person paint parties. And so what was happening was I was getting people coming to me asking, how do you do that? And I would get more and more people asking. And then I started thinking, okay, well, I'm telling people in person. I wonder how I could tell people this online. So that kind of started. Well, then I started teaching people online. We have around 800 people in Paint Party headquarters. And we will open up the group for Paint Party headquarters. Again, we have a big opening in May. But always watch your email because we might have a little secret opening where you can get in a few weeks. But it's not being like publicized everywhere. We're just doing a little bit of an email, a couple of day opening. But tonight is all about online stuff. So I just want to know in the comments, how many of y'all are curious about why we do Facebook Lives, why we should do Facebook Lives, and maybe because I want to give you a couple of tips on how to do Facebook Lives tonight. And then I want to tell you about this brand new course called Paint Party Outer Limits, which is going to help you with teaching stuff online. And I'll answer all your questions about that as well. So let me in the comments, I'm going to watch right now. Let me know in the comments if you are curious about how to do things online, or maybe you have started something and you just can't gain traction. Is that anybody? I'm very interested in having people join my Facebook Lives. Good. Oh, hey, Tangela. Hey, Judy. Judy's very interested. Tangela says, I just got all my equipment to do lives. Yay. I would love to start online teaching. Wonderful. Margie says, I have a Glowforge. I'm not sure what that is. Can I incorporate it into my paint parties and use them online as well? What is a Glowforge? Am I missing something? Maybe it's a term, I don't know. Carolyn, I have a studio but have never done a Facebook Live. Oh yeah, let me know if you have never done one. I would love to know who out there has not done one yet. Yes, I'm curious. I like the idea of online teaching. Interested but haven't yet. Let's see. Let's see. Then I found y'all 2 days ago. Kelly, I'm glad you found me. Shanna, let's see. Oh, good. Somebody's working with Shanna. Good. Very interested. So a lot of people. Okay. So again, Gretchen's going to be kind of watching the chat and she'll be messaging me any questions I'm missing. But I want to just tell y'all a little bit about Facebook Lives. Okay. Facebook Lives just started just in 2016. So we are looking at just over 3 years, of this world. So many people, like even my family, when I go tell them what I do, they still really don't get it. Like they nod their head, but they don't understand. And they just, they think I teach paint parties and that's the extent of it. And they really don't understand this whole online world. What I have learned is that there is so much opportunity out there. So I kind of, equate it to the gold rush, when everybody was rushing to the gold rush and there was a reason for it. You start to talk about online business and they have no idea what you're talking about. Have you ever talked to somebody about something online and they glaze over? Have y'all had that? Do a yes if you had that. And they're just like, what? So many of my family, they just literally are like, I have no idea. Like, what are you doing? Why are you telling people how to teach paint parties? Like, aren't they going to get your paint parties? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. My whole purpose is sharing God's love through art. I am one person. I can only teach so many paint parties. And if we're all out there teaching paint parties and then doing this stuff, we can share God's love in this type of way, this type of format. And the same thing kind of happened with online. Just a big honest moment with y'all right now. I was really scared to offer this course. This is the first time I've ever offered Paint Party Outer Limits. And I have been dragging my feet for, I was telling, Paint Party headquarters, I said, I was washing my curtains. Like, I did not want to release this. For 2 reasons. I was scared for, number one, I've spent tens of thousands of dollars in addition to, many years of learning and tweaking and learning and tweaking to learn what I've learned. And I have my own business coach who I spend, almost $1,000 a month with every month to learn different things. And then to go, okay, I'm just gonna, in a 6-week course, give you a bunch of secrets. I mean, that again, that number one why I was scared. And number two, I was scared because I don't want to let you down. Because I have learned how to do this, I know it's not for everybody. This way of doing things is not for everybody. So when I teach people paint party headquarters and I teach them how to do in-person parties, that I've done that for years and I teach them that and everything has been fine. As far as like, I know that like the back of my hand. Well, this is the same thing. I know it like the back of my hand, but I am so scared to let y'all down. And for those of you that already know me, I over deliver and I I only teach things that I have been successful at. So now that I've done this and I have been successful, I truly, 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 my business coach, Stu McLaren, I truly believe in his course Tribe. What I have learned is that people who are taking Tribe, a lot of them are at the very beginning of this. They don't know how to do a Facebook Live to get an email. They don't know why they need emails. They don't know why and how to do a Facebook Live that converts to an email address to where then you can actually offer something that solves a problem to people. So what I have noticed is that I love Tribe with all my heart. I have taken Tribe. I am, he is my business coach, all of these wonderful things, but I don't feel right talking about Tribe and telling people to go take Tribe without bridging this gap of knowledge. Because when you take Tribe, it's like drinking from a fire hose, which again, if you're going on the online space, you need to take Tribe. Like if you want to go that route, you need to take Tribe. It is one of the best things. It has changed my family. It's changed everything. But I don't feel right because last year when I started talking about Tribe and a lot of people signed up for Tribe using my affiliate link, there was this huge gap in learning. So they got all this great knowledge, but they didn't have any viewers to sell to. They didn't know how to do that stuff to sell to. And so it broke my heart because I saw, people who I love that were just giving it every single thing they got. But it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter if you have the best product in the world, if you have the best services in the world. It does not matter if nobody is watching. It does not matter if you don't know how to do a Facebook Live, which I'm going to show you in just a second, how to do a Facebook Live where you can get viewers, where you can get an email from that person. It does not matter. If you, and people say all the time, they're like, well, I just want to, do a Facebook Live and it be organic traffic. Oh, that's wonderful, people, but you got to figure out how to do that. Like, there was a time not too long ago, because again, Facebook Lives are just a few years old. There was a time when it was literally my mom, I kept going, hi, mom. And finally I was like, I got to stop saying hi, mom. Because every time I pull it up, everybody knows it's just me and my mom. That's all it is. And so you have to remember, guys, that, we all start at zero. When I just jumped on a Facebook Live a few hours ago, there's over 2,000 views already in just a couple hours. We haven't put any ad money to that. The whole time I was live, it was almost 100 people the whole time. That is not what happened when I started. That's not, but you have to think, like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Okay. Last August, I almost gave up. I almost washed my hands of it. I was like, done. I was looking for jobs teaching again. I was just, like, I'm not going to make it. What is going on? I've been at this. It's not working. What is happening? And then me and my husband, we started looking at our income and we started writing down every single thing we were spending. And after we did that, because my husband knew I was about to try to interview for a middle school job in a bad neighborhood that I didn't want to take, that I was going to do it. After we looked at our income and started checking it, I was making double what I was making teaching. I just wasn't tracking it. we were just blowing and going. It's coming in, we're spending it. It's coming in, we're spending it. And so I realized at that point, okay, if I go back to teaching, I'm actually giving my family a huge pay cut, a 50% pay cut. We just need to be more responsible. So once we hit that, and I started actually watching every single penny that came in and every single penny that came out, I realized how much money I was making. And then it just set me on fire. I was like, oh my gosh, this works. I just got to stop giving my plan B and keep doing it and keep doing it. And so then the next launch happened and things exploded. Then the next launch happened, it went a little bit. And then the next launch happened and it happened again. And then it got to this past May when it doubled. And then it got to September when it doubled again. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And I was like, God, what do you got for us? What's going to happen in May whenever we open again to the public? So, things have finally, started working, but it doesn't just happen overnight. So I'm here to tell y'all right now, this isn't for everybody. It's not something that happens overnight, but what I'm doing, and I'm going to tell you right now, Paint Party Outer Limits, at the end of 6 weeks, it's a 6-week course. You're not going to be making money from Paint Party Outer Limits. What Paint Party Outer Limits is going to do is set the foundation. I'm going to teach you all the things that I fumbled through for a long time in a very short window so that you don't have to fumble through them like I did. So let me go ahead and share with y'all the Facebook tricks, a couple of the Facebook tricks for y'all. Let's see. And then Gretchen's sending me some questions too. And I'm going to answer every single question. Okay. And we have this recorded. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. We have it recorded. I was like, crap, don't forget the recording. Okay. So I just want to tell y'all real quick, because some of y'all might just want this information and you don't want to hear anything about Paint Party Outer Limits, and that's fine. And I do want to tell y'all, I'm offering it one time this year, one time only. The reason I'm offering it one time and we don't start till February 3rd is because, and everything will be recorded, and I'm doing it once a year. Well, we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully it's successful and everybody benefits from it. But I want to make sure y'all are successful at what I teach. Then what'll happen is April 23rd is when Stu McLaren will open Tribe. Tribe is what kind of is the huge course that has basically changed I don't know how to say this word, trajectory. How do you say that? I don't know. But it's changed the course of what's going on, because I've had some success online in little bouts of it. I'd do a boot camp, or I'd do this, and I'd have, some success. But this is what really put everything together, everything I had been learning and really investing in, and then it all just kind of came together. So that's really what I'm going to teach. And what is Tribe? Tribe is the course that I took not last May, but the May before. And that's my business coach that I use. And so the reason I'm offering Paint Party Outer Limits is because I promote Tribe. I talk about Tribe. I send affiliate links for Tribe because I believe in it that much, because it's changed my family. However, there is a huge gap in the marketplace between somebody who is new to this, to what to do and to build an audience, to somebody who is ready to take Tribe. I had already learned all of that through all of the other stuff I had invested in, the courses I had taken, the way I was doing my Facebook Lives. And so I was totally ready. So when I took Tribe, it was like the perfect storm and everything came together. I already had thousands of people on my email list, and all of that was working. So when I took it, it was like, okay, out of the gate, already, members. My first launch, I had 58 members, and then now we're on up to, we had 840 in September. So the reason I'm telling you this is I saw that huge gap. So I want to make sure that y'all are ready. So when you're ready to drink out of the fire hose, you are ready, because it's like taking 4 years of college in a matter of 8 weeks. And it is intense, but again, hands down, the best online program I've ever taken. So I want to tell you real quick, 3 tips for successful Facebook Lives, okay? Okay, so here's kind of 3 things I want you to think of anytime you are doing Facebook Lives. Number 1, you're serving others, Okay, so serve others. Number 2, inspire others. And number 3, teach others. Okay, those are the main things. So many times you see people on a Facebook Live and they're literally like showing their vacation, and they're showing, you know, what's going on. I'm at the beach, check this out. Like, and I used to be that person. Like, I didn't really know how to do a Facebook Live to create what I wanted to create. Now, if you see me on a Facebook Live, it is intentional. There is always a point. There is a reason to serve others. Okay, how can this Facebook Live help you? Right, like right now, I am teaching you 3 things you need to remember during a Facebook Live. Okay, so how are you going to help somebody else during that Facebook Live? Number 2, how can you inspire them? Okay, so what is something you can do to help somebody else take action? Okay, so it's not about us. Again, I feel like God's given me this platform to share God's love. Like, I feel like truly, you know, he gets to let me use painting as the vehicle, which makes me so freaking happy, because I love to paint and it's my favorite thing ever. But I feel like, you know, God lets us use these platforms for his glory. And so when we're doing a painting, even if it's a craft, anything, what can we do to share God's love? You know, what can we do to share you know, what we want to say? So make sure it's to serve others, make sure you're inspiring others, and then make sure you're actually teaching something. Okay, so anytime I go on a Facebook Live, before I ever hit that live button, I either write it down, or I have it, you know, on a note, or I have it in my head, like what am I trying to get a point across? So earlier today, I did a Facebook Live on Texas Art and Soul. And if you saw it, basically, I wanted to inspire people to do a word of the year. I think it's so important to have goals, to have a purpose, to have a vision. My word of the year is athletic. I am athletic, and I am not athletic at all. I can barely walk upstairs with my paint gear without losing, like, I'm breathing hard, I'm sweating. And I'm just not strong physically. I'm just like, I feel like Mr. Burns sometimes, you know, from The Simpsons. Like, I just feel like I can't lift nothing. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm only 40. And so I just really want to be, you know, more like physically able to not only like carry paint supplies when I have all my paint parties, but also just to be like that. I mean, I just feel like, you know, sometimes my health is just not always there. And it might be because, you know, I'm teaching a lot of paint parties, and, you know, we're moms, we're wives, we overwork. That's what we do. We put a lot on our plate. And so, so my word of the year was health, but I hated saying that word over and over because it made me feel like something was wrong. So I decided to change it to athletic. So when I did the Facebook Live today, it was about inspiring and teaching, you know, how to do an easy stencil thing. I mean, it does not have to be rocket science, people. It can be easy stuff, but something that you can do to teach and to inspire and to show that they can do it too. So my Facebook Live today, the whole purpose was to inspire and teach. There was not a call to action for an email. So some of y'all might be like, well, don't you say get emails? Yes. But also there's times when you do Facebook Lives where you're not getting an email. You're just building community. You're, you know, sharing something that you want to share. And it doesn't always have to be about, you know, getting the email. However, because people have viewed that, you know, in Paint Party Outer Limits, I'm going to teach you 2 different ads that my wonderful Facebook angel, y'all met her earlier, Gretchen, she was on here earlier at the beginning, and that, you know, we use to retarget people who have watched our videos. So there's certain ways that you can do that. But again, you can't retarget people if nobody's seen your videos. So you have to know how to do Facebook Lives to actually get viewers. And then as you do that, you start to build up. So again, I hope you hear my heart when you know, when I talk and say, it isn't something that happens overnight, okay? And I'm not gonna sit here and say at the end of Paint Party Outer Limits, you're going to have, you know, money coming in, because that's not what it's about. However, I do fully believe that if you find somebody that's doing something that you want to do and they're doing it successfully, not somebody that's just saying they're doing it, there's a lot of people out there that will say, do it this way, but then you look at their Facebook following, or you look at their viewers, and they're not there. Like, they're just not happening. And, you know, I made the mistake of hiring a Facebook person for almost a year, and she was telling me to do these things, and she was running my ads, and I was paying her a lot of money, but I wasn't getting any results. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm smart. Let me like look at her stuff. Like, she has less people than me. Like, I'm doing more than what she's doing, and she, you know, I'm paying her. And so that's when I really dove in, before Gretchen started helping me, and I taught myself everything I could about it, and I started learning, and I started just growing stuff. And then Tribe came along, and like I said, the perfect storm, and everything started, you know, everything started going from there. So 3 tips for successful Facebook Live: serve others, inspire others, and teach others. So make sure when you press go on a Facebook Live, you are not, it's not the Heidi show. It's not, you know, whatever. It's about them and how you can help them every single time. Seriously, every single time. And if you are nervous about Facebook Lives, and I do want to say this little fact: the Facebook Live video view count climbed to 2 billion viewers last year. So my fear at the beginning of sharing Paint Party Outer Limits was, you know, are they just going to do exactly what I'm doing? And then it hit me. It's like, wait a minute, there's billions of people and we're on an online platform. Plus, everybody has something else they're good at. Everybody in the craft market, by the way, is freaking insane. You know, I don't know if y'all know some of my friends, Christy Hawkins and Tamara Bennett and Casey and all of them. I mean, you know, we all are kind of growing our businesses together at the same time, and it's just unreal. I mean, did anybody go to a Hobby Lobby or a Michael's during the Christmas break? How many of y'all stood in line for a long time? Like, it's not going nowhere, people. Like, we love to create, and the people like us that love that stuff, we just want more and more and more of it. And the thing is there is such an opportunity there. Such an opportunity that, you know, at first I was like, oh my gosh, but are they just gonna like take Paint Party headquarters and try to recreate it? No, like, people find other things they're really good at, or maybe they just want to, you know, do shell art like my mom, or, you know, whatever it is. By the way, Mom, if you're watching, like, shell art, like, that would be a really good, that'd be a really good one to tackle. I wouldn't be interested in it, but man, she could really do some stuff with that. So anyway, there's just so many opportunities, and that's a lot of what I'll be teaching you there, is how to niche down to where you find something that is unique to you. So, like, I want to be known as the paint party lady, right? Like, I want to be known as the person that can help you start your paint party business. And there's other people, you know, Tamara, who wants to be known as the door hanger. You know, she is the door hanger queen, right? You know, Christy is the canvas queen. You know, I mean, she can, you know, and palette queen, she can paint so good. Like, she's so much of a better painter than I am. You know, Casey does her lettering like nobody's business. Like, everybody had, you know, Cindy does her glass work. Art Shattered, you know, she's just brilliant at it. And, you know, you find the thing that you're really good at, and then you solve a problem. And that's where the magic happens, because you're able to not only help somebody, but you're solving their problem, and you're doing something that you're really passionate about. It's not enough just to be like, I'm passionate. You know, it's great. Watch me. I'm going to paint today. La, la, la. You know, you've got to solve a problem. So when you mix that solving a problem with something that you're passionate about and something that you want to talk about. And for example, teaching paint parties, I could talk about paint parties all day, every minute, marketing. I mean, like, I love that stuff so much. It makes me so happy. So to know that I have paint party headquarters where I can go in and that's all we talk about, and like, it just makes me so happy. So you've got to find something that makes you smile, and you know, if you're, you know, answering the same question for the 400 millionth time, that it's not going to drive you nuts. You know, I'm like, nope, I know that one. Like, you know, like, I got it. You know, you want something to where it just comes, you know it, and you're good at it, and all of those things will come together. And so that's kind of the first week of that course, is figuring out, you know, kind of working through what you want. And knowing it's a journey. This isn't just it happens and it's good. I mean, but knowing like, okay, do I want to be there in 5 years? Yeah. I mean, I look back, I've been at this online game for now over 6 years. And like I said, it really all came together when I took Tribe. And so I fumbled around a lot. I had some direction here and there. I remember paying thousands and thousands of dollars to a business coach, and she taught me so much. She taught me the potential of what is out there. Like I had no idea. And but it took me an entire year with her, an entire year until I realized, oh, I'm supposed to teach people how to make money teaching paint parties. Like it took me an entire year to figure that out. Like when I look back, am I upset that I spent thousands and thousands of dollars with her and didn't get an answer till a year later? No, no, I am not. And I can assure you, my husband is not upset. I can assure you that, yes, there were hard times and there were a lot of ups and downs and there were a lot of like almost quitting. All of those things were right there. Because that's entrepreneurship. That is owning a business. That is the realistic side of owning a business. But when I look back and go, would I do it all again, knowing what results I have today? 100,000,000% yes, because this is just the beginning. I can't even imagine what's going to happen this year. My goal for Paint Party Headquarters was to have 500 members as of this past December. And we blew past that number in September. And I'm like, God, oh my gosh, like, what are you going to do this next year? And so, I just want to make sure y'all know that it is definitely not something that happens overnight, but it's definitely a huge opportunity that's out there. And if you have the commitment, and if you have the willingness to know that it takes consistency, is it hard? Yes. Does it take dedication? Yes. Does it take consistency? Yes. It takes all of those things. But when you solve a problem and you mix your passion into it, and then you just continue it, if you get on a Facebook Live of mine, I'm a paint party person, and it has to be that way, because if not, you want those people that get on your Facebook Live, they're immediately going to know, yes, I want to hear more of her, or no. You want that stark contrast immediately. It used to hurt my feelings. I used to think, oh my gosh, no. Now I'm like, no, I'm not talking to you unless that's what you're looking for. That's what this is about. I'm not, trying to teach you fine art. I'm not trying to teach you major, paintings. I don't even go live a lot when I do murals, because I don't want to confuse my audience that I'm trying to teach you how to do murals, or trying to teach you how to do mural contracts, because murals honestly come up as a result of teaching paint parties, because people ask me at my paint party, hey, would you do a mural? Yeah, of course, I got Saturday free, and so it's kind of a byproduct of teaching paint parties. But if I just start word vomiting everything I do in the background and confuse everybody, nobody will know to come to me about paint parties. So that was kind of another fear with offering Paint Party Outer Limits. And that was one of the reasons why I named it Paint Party Outer Limits. Because you technically, this can be taught. And it was funny, one of the people on our team were saying, well, shouldn't you just say it as everybody? Like, don't name it Paint Party Outer Limits. And I'm like, no, I'm not confusing anybody. Like, this is kind of the next step. If you've been teaching paint parties and you want to start doing stuff online, I can teach you that next step. Yes, does it work for other businesses? Yeah, it's the same technique. But I'm not going to start saying it's for everybody, because if I do, I'm going to confuse the people that I know I can help for sure, which are the artsy people. I know I can help y'all for sure. Okay, so, and why are emails important? Okay, so I wanted to show y'all something real quick, and then I'm going to start answering questions. Let's see. Oh, okay. I think we might have our max on. Oh yeah. Okay. So we have 100 people. I have a max of 100 people. Gretchen, do you mind putting in the comments that people can see it on? I tried to stream it to Facebook, And then because we're over the limit, because I forgot, I didn't realize we'd have that many show up. So that's awesome. Good job, y'all. Thanks for being here. Don't get off because it won't let you back on. We're at the max 100 people. So what I would do is just let them know that they will get the replay. Maybe put that in the Facebook Live. So if they signed up for this webinar, because I think we had about 1,000 people sign up to see the webinar, I will send the replay. Yeah, I just got a message from Ashley saying it kicked her out because it's met the limit of 100 people. Oops. I didn't even think to upgrade that. I'm sorry, y'all. So sorry. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all this real quick. Okay, so, you know, again, I tell y'all, I don't teach anything that I have not already mastered. I don't feel right about it. So why emails? Okay, so can y'all see this? This is, I just took this picture right before we got on here. Can y'all see that, or is the light showing? Okay, so if you can't see it, this is my email system for my online business. So subscribers today, we're at 226 new subscribers. Subscribers yesterday, 176, and then we're at 29,800 subscribers. It is important to be getting emails like that. We, right now, consistently with the 2 ads that I'll show you in Paint Party Outer Limits, we're getting around 200 to 300 emails a day. It's important because emails is where you make your money. You have to, you know, I don't care if people are like, oh, I don't like emails, I just delete everything. It doesn't matter. So when you get an email in, not only are you able to capture that email and, you know, send, you know, I have everything on automation, and then I send emails weekly, but you're also able to download that email list, and then you can upload it into Facebook audiences for retargeting. And that's part of the Facebook ad that we talk about. So a lot of times people are like, well, they're not opening my emails. Well, technically it's okay still. You know, if they're a Facebook user, you're still going to be able to talk to that person. Or, you know, like the word of the year I just did, I could run an ad to that and run it to all the people who have signed up on my email list. Even though they might not open their email, they're in Facebook all the time and they're going to see it there. So, so I want y'all to know, like, you know, I'm a person who, you know, again, emails have been like the thing I obsess about, like obsess, like how do I get an email? And I'll do a Facebook Live, and if emails start coming in, I'm like, oh my gosh, that one's working, here, do more of that. You know, so I have literally for the past several years obsessed about emails. And so it is such a big deal. And again, people, I hear this all the time, and I just take it with a grain of salt because I know they don't know what they don't know, and it's okay. But I take it with a grain of salt because people say, well, I don't even open emails. Well, emails aren't the way to do it. That's not the way. Guys, I'm telling you, I don't care how much you think email is dead. It is the way people online are making money. Like when I open doors to Paint Party headquarters, that's where people buy. You know, they might see me on a Facebook Live. They might buy on a Facebook Live, but I'd say 80 to 90% of my sales are through an email. That's where they're buying. So it is very, very important. I also, you know, has anybody ever heard the bamboo story? And then I'm going to start answering some questions. You know, they talk about bamboo and how they, you know, you water it and you put it in the ground and it just takes forever and ever and ever. But once it grows, it shoots up. And that's kind of the same thing with an online business. It takes a foundation. It does not happen overnight. Anybody you see that you're like, man, how'd they do that? They're everywhere. I promise you, they were talking to their phone with their mom or grandma watching. Like, that's how it is. That's how it starts for everybody. But Facebook Lives with a purpose, when you can master that, and we'll be, you know, in Paint Party Outer Limits, there'll be times where you actually practice it. When you can master that and you can get that free gift and you can get it, you know, tuned in, and yes, you're going to adjust and you're going to change stuff and you're going to change your mind. All of those things are going to happen. But when you can really start to get that, when you can really start to learn, then you know, there's a huge opportunity right now, and that somebody called me about today. And I'm like, it sounds awesome. It sounds great, but I don't know if it's the time. Like, I don't know if it's right. And so it's like, when you know what you're supposed to be doing now, it is the greatest feeling in the world, because everything else just kind of fades away. Like, what you're supposed to do. Where before I was just like, yeah, I'll sell that. Sure, I'll grab that. Yeah, I'll do, you're just like grabbing and, just throwing spaghetti at the wall. And, we all do it. We're all just trying. But once you finally figure it out, and once you really realize, like, no, this is my purpose. Like, this is what God is telling me to do. Like, I'm supposed to teach people how to make money teaching paint parties. Like, I know that. I know that that helps other people's families. Like, it is in my gut, in my core. Like, I know that's the direction. So now when I get hit with, every week somebody else coming to me with another opportunity or another thing to do, no, it's not in the plan. No, yeah, I'll listen. And yes, it might be something that can work with what's going on now, but it gives you that freedom to finally go, no, I have a direction. Like, I know what's going. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm 40 and I finally figured out my direction. And I just felt like for many years I was just floating like all over the place. And now I feel like I have a purpose. I know what God wants me to do, and he might change it, and that's okay. I mean, I need to be ready to listen for that. But once you finally figure that out, it's like, man, it just lights you up because and I've already written my entire marketing plan for 2020. And I already know exactly when everything's happening this whole year. And to have that clarity and that feeling is just, I don't know, as a mom and as a wife and as somebody, trying to do a lot of things, it just feels so good to know there's some stability in that. Okay, so I'm going to start answering questions. Let's see what Gretchen has here. Gretchen, do you want to read them out? Would that be easier? I unmuted you. There you are.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
It's going great. We're kind of blowing up the internet. People can't get on the webinar. And
I know. I'm like, what is happening? I would have upped the people. I didn't think this many would show up.
It's awesome. Yeah, there's people over on Facebook too. So I told them that there'll be a replay. Everyone can watch a replay. Some people are saying they can't hear everything. No problem. We're going to send out replay links. There's going to be a replay going for a while. So yeah, I have bunches of questions. Do you want me to start from the top?
Yeah, if you'll start reading them, I'll kind of just answer.
Okay.
And I'll just answer till you are done. So I'll just try to answer them fast because I know we'll have a lot.
Okay. The first question was, do you use YouTube for storing videos when you're teaching online?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And YouTube Unlisted. So yeah, I used to do Vimeo and I paid a yearly fee for Vimeo. But Vimeo has some limitations and I don't know, I just don't love it. But YouTube Unlisted works really, really well. And we're actually moving our paint party headquarters over to Kajabi. We're going to have an app. We're so excited. So we're working on that, and hopefully by the middle of the month, but it'll still, actually the videos will still be hosted on YouTube. So yeah, any of y'all doing Facebook Lives, I highly recommend just taking those and putting them on YouTube as well. Because then you can start building viewers. And the thing about building viewers on YouTube, it's kind of like Facebook, where it's just your mom watching forever. And then you just keep the consistency and keep the consistency, and it starts to slowly build. And YouTube was like that. Like, it took me forever to get 1,000 subscribers. Like, I was like, is this ever going to move? Ever? Like, I mean, I was doing, just videos. I was putting out awesome videos and awesome interviews with like famous artists like Akiana Krameric. And I was like, why? Those would have a lot of views, but the subscribers were still low. And then finally, after it hit 1,000, it started moving way faster. So there's something about online. It's like, it's slow moving at first, but then once you figure it out, once you get the pieces right, things can happen way fast.
I've had a couple people ask about the Outer Limits course itself, as far as what the dates are that it's open and what the cost is.
Okay, so Paint Party Outer Limits, this is a 6-week course. It will be recorded. I'm gonna do, I'll have a schedule soon, but it doesn't start until February 2nd. So you have until it starts February 3rd. Is that right, Gretchen?
The 3rd.
Not on Sunday. I'm looking over here at my calendar. So February 3rd it starts. So you have until February 2nd to join. We are opening the doors to it now, so that people can be ready for the finances, because it's a $497 course. Now, some of y'all might be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But guys, I was nervous about offering it because I know what I have spent in my own bank account just to learn this knowledge, which is tens of thousands of dollars and many, many painstaking years. So a lot of knowledge is condensed into 6 weeks, and you'll have access for an entire year, but you won't, after the year, the access goes away. The reason why is because things online change fast, and I don't want you to think that next year it's the same information, because it will change. I mean, that's just the nature of it. And there's things that we're working on Facebook several months ago that aren't working now. So you always have to constantly be in tune, knowing what the marketing is. That's why I have a business coach and I pay a lot of money, because I don't want to lose the knowledge of what's coming or what's happening or what's changing, all of those things. So there is a payment plan. It is a little bit more expensive. So you can do a payment plan. It's a 2-option payment plan. And I think it's let me double check so I don't tell you wrong. You can do one payment and it's $497, or you can do 2 pay and it's $298.50, and then you pay it twice. So you can sign up and then do the 2 pay. And then just know that if you can't make the calls live, and there will be a Facebook group I'll have it open for 8 weeks. So from February 3rd for 8 weeks, there'll be a private Facebook group, and then I'll actually do the calls in a Zoom like this. If we have more than 100, which I don't think we will, but if we do, I will upgrade the plan, so don't worry. And then we'll have it in the room like this so that you could be asking me questions and I can see you face to face. I don't want to deliver an intense course like this on a Facebook Live. I just don't want to do that. I want to have more of a conversation. What was the other question with that, Gretchen, or was that it?
No, you answered both. And then someone had asked if there's going to be a follow-up, like how you have Paint Party headquarters every month. Will you have an Outer Limits membership that goes on every month?
No, I don't think so, because I really want my intention is to prepare you for Tribe. That's my intention. So that when you sign up for Tribe, this is literally the stepping stones for Tribe. I am being very, very clear about that. It's not I'm trying to hide something and say, oh yeah, you need to take this. No, this is literally the pre-course for Tribe. And the reason I'm offering this again is because I talked about Tribe last year. I gave my affiliate last year, and I thought I would have maybe 8 people sign up, and I think I had 18 people sign up, and I was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, people want this. They want to know this. Y'all are savvy to this. Y'all know what's happening online. And I thought, oh my gosh, and so I was so blown away with how many people wanted to know about it. But then my heart ached because I saw, my friend like Ashley, who is amazing at what she does. And she was kicking butt and she was doing every single thing that he said, everything. I mean, that girl crossed every T, dotted every I, and she just did not have the audience yet, but she will, because she is driven and the girl is not stopping, and it's just a matter of time. The people who are not making it in this are the ones that realize it's hard. Anything worth getting is hard. If I want to be athletic and be that volleyball player I was talking about earlier on my live, I got to work at it. I can't just, sit here in my desk all day and then expect to do a jump serve. I want to learn that, really. I really do. It's on another topic we'll talk about later. But, there's things that you've got to do that. And so when I saw, people who I think of as friends that I've met online and saw them struggling and giving it everything they got, and it just broke my heart, because I thought, yes, yes, there are ways you can launch with a smaller audience, but you still need an audience. You still need to know when somebody says an evergreen funnel or a click funnels or a funnel, or a legacy follow-up series or an email system or Aweber, or you got to know the basic terms. And if you don't know the basic terms and you don't know all those things, you're coming into seriously, I learned more in 8 weeks from Tribe than I did in my whole, it almost took me 8 years of college, and I only have a 4-year degree, but I was working full time and messing around. So it took a long time, but I learned more in that 8 weeks than I learned in my entire college career. And so because I was already ready for it, and because I already knew all the terms, and I was already in it, like I was full on in it day in and day out, it was ready. It was so ready for my time. But I want to bridge that gap. Like, I want to make sure when you do take Tribe and you're ready to go to that next step, that you're not going in with, oh my gosh, this is too much and I'm overwhelmed, but you actually have a chance at success. Because, not everybody's going to make a successful online business. We know that, it's not for everybody, but those of you that it is for, it's definitely worth it. And I want to help you the best I can to get to that next level.
Well, I think that's the thing too, is that it is a business, and I think it's the next step in business. And I think, like you said, it isn't for everybody. A lot of people that are on here right now are not to the point that they're ready to know, but they're starting to want to feel it out. And it might be something you're watching now that you're not able to do this year, but you might be in the future. So keep an eye out on Heidi. She has a lot of good things going on. A couple people are asking as far as what the weekly course, how it's laid out. If you could give some ideas of what you're teaching in the course.
Yes. So I wrote it here because I didn't want to forget. Okay. So basically what I'm going to teach you is how to, first off, what you want to create, like what problem are you solving and what you want to make happen. Okay. Because again, it has to be a combination of those two things. It just can't be like, oh, I love to do this, so I'm going to do this. No, you need to solve a problem. What are you creating for somebody? And so we'll talk about that. I'm going to teach you the reason for a free gift. So if you go to my website, my website is not set up for teaching paint parties in person. Like, I've told people 1,000 times that teach paint parties in paint party headquarters, you don't need a website. Like, it's not for paint parties anyway. And the way we teach paint parties is a different way. I used to have a paint party website. I used to have a calendar. None of that worked. Nobody went to that. It was just wasted space and wasted upkeep. However, if you go to Texas Art and Soul, you'll see, you scroll down a little bit, there's a free gift on the first page. The reason for a free gift. Also, I worked out a deal. Those of you that are taking Paint Party Outer Limits, my VA, my virtual assistant who does all my website stuff, she said she usually does $147 to create the free gift opt-in page, which again, if this sounds foreign to you, we will go into full detail about all of this. But she said she would do it for $97 for anybody who takes Paint Party Outer Limits. So what that means is that she will create your free gift. So we'll help you figure it out, help figure out what you want to give away, because again, you want to give away something that eventually leads to what you will be selling online. So mine is my ebook, right? So my ebook on how to start a paint party business, that is very highly focused for my end result of Paint Party Headquarters, because I want to teach people how to make money teaching paint parties, right? So it's very highly focused. It makes sense. So if people are getting that book, they are very interested. And what my VA does and what she's offering for the $97, and again, I want y'all to know up front, you can't come into Paint Party Outer Limits and go, okay, I paid my money to Heidi, now everything is just magically appears. No, like email systems, cost money. They're free when you don't have any emails, but I pay $250 now to host 30,000 emails. Like, it goes up as you get more emails. And, to get an opt-in page, to build it, like, I don't build a website. I don't care about learning to do that. Like, I did it one time and it was awful and I hated every moment of it. Like, I would rather spend the money teaching a paint party and making $1,000 that night than trying to do a website for a month and still not do it right. So, there's going to be times where it's way easier to pay Kelly the $97 deal and do the free gift where she ties it back into your email. She creates the automated thing that gives her, gives the free gift, all those back end things. And in Aweber, if you sign up for Aweber, I can definitely show you, because I've done, you can ask Gretchen. I have things going everywhere. I know that system like the back of my hand. So I can show you all kinds of stuff with that. But as far as like creating a really nice page, you know, she can make that for you for that price. Then I'm going to teach you how to build an email list. So once you have a free gift, now we're going to work on how you do a Facebook Live to get people who see your Facebook Live to get that free gift. Okay. So, you know, a lot of times you'll see me on a Facebook Live and I'll hold up this and I'll say, okay, have you gotten this ebook? Yeah, I've been talking about this for years. It still works. You know, a lot of times we think we have to keep creating something new. We have to keep creating something new. I think 2 years now, it seems like I've been talking about this book on my Facebook Lives. And it's something I wrote a long time ago, and I've done updates to it. But there's things like that if you know where you're headed, you do it, and then you create your Facebook Live, and then you offer your free gift. Then I'm going to teach you how to communicate to your email list. So a lot of times, you know, I blog a lot and I overshare, I do. And so a lot of times, you know, I'll be on a plane or something like that. And I don't know why, but it just, everything comes out in like 3 minutes, you know, and I'm like, why, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to write right now. I'm so asleep. And instead I'll grab my phone because inspiration hits and I just, you know, start typing. So a lot of times my emails come when I'm, you know, riding in the passenger, when my husband's driving or whatever, and then that inspiration hits, and then I figure out, okay, I have this challenge or this obstacle, but how can I turn this into something to help them, right? How can I turn this into something to help you? And used to, when I contacted my email list, it was all about me. It was, this is what happened in my life. This is what happened, you know, and I didn't understand how to take it and make it about you. Like I really struggled with that. And then once I realized, like, oh my gosh, again, this is all about, like, I keep bringing it back to God, because again, I truly feel like that is why God has given me this platform, you know, to honor him every time. And so when I start to do an email, yes, some of it's just paint party related and some of it's just about, you know, doing a paint party or whatever. But I always start to think like, okay, how can I, because I've realized, and those of you in Paint Party Headquarters know, it is not about paint parties. Like, it is not. I mean, we have so many conversations in there that are about health and about, you know, our family and praying for our family. And when it comes down to the end of the day, like, paint parties is just what's helping us, you know, make our bills happen or create extra space in our life for vacations or, you know, pay for our kids, whatever, like, you know. And so when it really hit me that paint parties wasn't really about paint parties, like, and it started, you know, making sense to me, you know, this is about this huge community and this huge community of women, and how we're helping each other along. And yes, paint parties happens to be this part where we've all intersected and we all have this common ground, but it's really about something else. And so then I started realizing, okay, my email list, you and the people that are on my email list deserve better than just, here's what's word vomit happening in my life. And then that's when I started like taking more responsibility. And even though I email a lot, I mean, I'm 2 a week at least. Like, I'm very consistent for probably the past 5 to 6 years. Like, I don't miss a beat. Like, it's not going to come every time the same time, but it'll be there twice a week for sure. And once I started realizing how to communicate to them, then I started realizing like how much I was able to help people. And so when I started getting these emails back of like, oh my gosh, this is, you know, today I got an email back about somebody, you know, it's helping her through her PTSD and she's so inspired and hopeful. And I think that's the biggest thing I have seen. What my Paint Party Headquarters my online business has done is give people hope. And that, man, that's an honor. Like, that's a big honor because I don't take it lightly. And when I see people like have hope, and I don't know about y'all, but like when you wake up and you have nothing to look forward to, it sucks. Like life sucks. And we all go through that. You know, I know there's people out there that have really bad depression and go through things like that. But whenever you like wake up and you don't have something to look forward to, it's not good. Like it's not good. And so when I know that people like just the excitement of something new, or when there's a paint party around the corner, or you know, I created my word of the year. Now I'm going to be athletic, you know, whatever it is, like getting excited about something that's coming, you know, that's when you know that you can make a difference and when you can give somebody hope. And so when y'all have this opportunity to inspire other people and to teach them about something that you're really good at, but you've got to learn how to communicate to the email list. You've got to know how to do a Facebook Live that matters. You got to know how to connect to where they're going to want to give you your email list. So all those things are going to be taught. And also logistically, I'm going to teach you 2 ads that Gretchen has so changed my life with. We're gonna go through those 2 ads. I call her my Facebook angel. You know, they have really changed the game for my family. But again, those Facebook ads don't work until you start getting views. When you start getting views, when you start getting people to give you your email, then it starts working. And then you can start learning to do the next step. So yeah, so that's really what it's about, is just setting that foundation and getting you ready for, honestly, for Tribe or for whatever you decide to do next. But I just feel like there's this huge gap in the marketplace, and I just want to be there for you. Okay, sorry, Gretchen, that was really long-winded.
Hopefully, my internet was going in and out. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. A couple people have said, "Where do we sign up? We're ready. What do we do?"
Oh, yay. Oh, my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so do we have the link?
I can put it in if you want.
Oh, okay. Do you have it? If not,
Yeah.
I can pull it up. Yeah, if you
Okay.
want to sign up. And again, we know this is you know, we don't take this lightly. We know this is a big investment. But that's why we're starting the opening. Like usually, you know, we would say, okay, you got 4 days to sign up. That's why we decided to do a whole month, because we knew it was a big investment. We knew people wanted to think about it. I mean, you might want to sell some stuff in your house. Like, I don't know. I have a bunch of crap I could probably sell to do that. But, you know, you might want to teach a paint party to pay for it, you know, and have that challenge, and you have time for that. So yeah, if you want to put the link in there, that would be awesome. Oh, there we go. Okay, awesome. Okay, what else do we have?
All right, I have a couple more technical questions. I know for me, when I first started venturing into the online space and teaching online, a lot of my questions were all the technical behind the scenes. Somebody asked, when you're using YouTube to store, you know, if that's where you have your videos, how do you keep people from not downloading your videos? And then how do you share them to your people, but not that everybody can see?
Okay, so when you do an unlisted, okay, so what you want to make sure is that, so we share it a couple different ways, and we're about to share it a third way. So we share it in our private group, we share it through email. So everything right now in Paint Party Headquarters has been delivered via email and through our Facebook group. We're about to do Kajabi, which is a big investment, but it's going to make it really awesome. You'll actually have like an app on your phone, and you'll be able to pull it up and actually just look at the videos from there as well. So it'll be a lot cleaner, a lot more organized, and just overall a better experience. But here's the thing, y'all. There are thieves everywhere. I mean, we were just at the movies the other night, and my husband's truck, who he keeps it immaculate. Like me and Pixie, we eat in our car. Like we're disasters. We're disgusting. He feels like he's going to catch something when he gets in our car. But his truck is perfect. Like we're not allowed to eat in it. Like I could barely drink coffee in it. Like it's seriously, he keeps it so clean. Well, we were at the movies the other day, and somebody took a rock and smashed his back window. And so we come out of the movies, we went to a 7 o'clock movie. It wasn't like we were out late, anything, and smashed it. And then we, you know, went around, we had to do a police report, and apparently a lot of people tried to steal, and thank goodness they didn't get in, because I left my wallet, Pixie left her phone. I mean, we were just let our guard down. And so the reason I say that is it doesn't matter where you're at, what you're doing. There's going to be people that try to steal. There's going to be people that try to download your stuff. But here's the thing. I know what it takes to make an online business work. I know that if you're still watching this, you're probably like me. Like, you have the stamina, you have the commitment, you have the curiosity, at least you have the desire to make something like this work. Unfortunately, in today's world, I mean, fortunately for y'all, because there's not a lot of competition, but fortunately, people, it just, they might take it, but what are they going to do with it? It's your face teaching it. There's just, I just don't worry about that. I feel like, and again, I'm a praying girl, but I feel like for the most part, what goes around comes around. And I feel like, it will come back. I just feel like it will come back, and I don't worry about that. So I know there's people that have taken stuff of mine already, and it happens. But again, like I said, I feel like that stuff gets sorted out on its own, and it always comes back to those people. I just try to be as honest as possible and do the things I know I can do, to help protect myself. But at the end of the day, there's only so much we can do. And I think if we come with that mindset of always worrying about what are they doing? What did they say? I just feel like it's not what God wants me to use my time on.
I think for us too, one of the things that we've all found, the girls that are in the online space, as far as art is considered, we've learned from each other. Why would you try and steal something when you can become friends with someone and learn from them? It takes you so much farther.
Yes. I think that's the coolest thing too. Like, those of you that will take tribe, and those of you that will do outer limits, you're going to form this bond. Like, I had no idea. And I posted the interview of me and some of the creative girls, and we were all at Tribe last year, and we were on stage. And I posted that interview because literally, like, for a year and a half, we were, online. I mean, I hadn't even met them in person, but I talked to them every single day on the phone. I mean, we have a whole group chat, we're talking every day, like, this worked, this didn't work. Oh, try this. This is happening now. Like, I talk to them sometimes more than I do my husband, and he lives with me. And it's true, isn't it, Gretchen? Like,
Yep.
we're like always in contact. And so I think sometimes we don't realize the value that you're going to have in this group that you're going to share this bond with. And the way, like, Gretchen said, we're kind of all like, we're building our businesses together, and you're going to come in a group of other creatives where you're at the same stage building together. And that's been the coolest thing. I'm going to Nashville in March. I'm so excited. I'm going to speak at Tamara's event. And just to think, like, there's going to be so many people there that, like, I know from Paint Party headquarters or, wherever, things like that. And it's just so cool to think, like, yeah, me and Tamara could be like, nah, we're too close of a competition. But instead we're like, no, girl, let's do this, and we're working together. And another cool thing we realized too, just because we go to Hobby Lobby doesn't mean we don't go to Michael's, right? I mean, we share a lot of the same customers. The same thing with you, as you start to do your online business, I subscribe to several, types of things that are creative. And I'm still going to buy stuff. Like, we're those people. Like, we buy things and we want to know more things and we want to learn more things. I was at Lowe's today buying some stuff for something I'm trying to create for Paint Party headquarters. And yeah, I'm excited about that. And I'm going to learn it and teach it and, share it with the people that, are in Paint Party headquarters. So there's so many different things when you stop thinking about like, everybody's taking from me, and think about like, how can we just teach and share? Then it really becomes cool because you start to grow together.
Amen.
Amen.
Let me see who it was. Tangela actually had a good idea. I think she was asking, but it is a good idea because I know people that do it. She says, can you teach Facebook Lives to practice in a private group?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
She asked if she could do that. So like, could she create a group just for herself and practice Facebook Lives on her own?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you just have to have two people. So maybe have your husband or something like that. So like I have a group that's called, well, I don't want to tell you the group because I don't want you to join. It's a private group. But I have a group where I do a lot of my painting tutorials and I film them live. And the reason I film them live is if you've ever filmed a long video and then tried to like Dropbox it and all that mess, it's such a hassle. So what I do is I film it in a private Facebook group that just, for a while, it just had me and my husband. Especially when I was doing all my own video editing and everything myself. And it was just me and Bobby. And I was like, please don't watch me. I'm trying to film and you're going to distract me, you know, because he'd be at work and he'd pop in. I'm like, Bobby, get off the line. Because it was just me and him. And so a lot of times I would take that. And then once I filmed it, then I can download it and then do what I need to do with it in iMovie or however you edit stuff. So yes, you can totally, you know, create a Facebook group and then practice lives and, you know, figure it out. And you'll get better. Like that's the thing. I seriously, like when Facebook Live started coming out, do y'all remember when they were like, say hi to people and wait till people get on and hi, we're just going to wait a few more minutes. Hi, we'll just wait a few more, like, you know, that's how it was. Like, that's how we all thought we were supposed to do it. And nobody realized that it was going to be replayed. You know, like nobody knew. We were just thinking, let me wait till a couple people get on and I'm going to talk to those 4 people, right? And so if you go back and see some of my early videos, I'm like, for like 5 minutes, hey guys, like just waiting forever. But you get better and you start to realize, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And then it just gets better, I promise. But it's terrifying at first, I'm not gonna lie.
I know a lot of people too, which I think we sometimes forget because Heidi is always so camera face. You always see Heidi's face, but a lot of times whenever people are teaching online, they have the camera pointed down at what they're working on. You're not necessarily having to show your face the entire time. Because I think that's a big thing for a lot of people, having to be live and having to be filmed is to be on camera. And yes, you definitely do need to be on camera, but a lot of it you're going to be, they want to see you painting and they want to see what you're doing or you're crafting, whatever crafts you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you could technically be known as the person who just shows their hands. And I mean, you know, that could be your branding. I don't know. But it really is true. I had somebody message me today. I'm not going to say her name. And she said, I want to take Paint Party Outer Limits. And she said this, I'm not making this up. She said, but I'm fat and I can't be on camera. And I was like, what does that have to do with it? Like, I was like, I don't know what you look like, but that has nothing to do with it. I mean, you know, I show my face a lot, but literally guys, like people do not care what you look like. Like they don't care as long as you're giving value. Like what we talked about at the beginning, you know, with Facebook Lives, we talked about how we need to serve others, how we need to inspire others, and how we need to teach others. Nobody cares what you're looking like if you are doing those things. If you're just getting on there and, you know, this is, you know, the Heidi show and just stare at me, like, but not giving anything, you know, people wouldn't keep watching. They're going to be bored. They're going, you know, it does not matter. It's about what you're giving to them. So keep that in mind. And guys, it takes all types to make this world work, all types. And there's so many things that you have that you're talented at, that you're really good at, that's unique to you. You know, like I say words wrong all the time and it happens and I don't care. It's just part of who I am. I don't have a bottom lip. I painted this on with lipstick. Like I literally have no bottom lip and I have been made fun of online like crazy. I have been dogged about it. And yes, it gets to you. Yes, it sucks sometimes when people talk about your appearance, you know, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to draw on a lip. Like that's what's going to happen, you know? And so there's things like that, you know, yes, you're putting yourself out there and sometimes it is scary. You know, I'm not going to lie. That part is scary. But I think if you really have your core values and you know what you stand for, like I'll talk about God all day long and I don't care if people bash me online for that. Go to town. That's something I'm willing to stand up for, and that's something and I'm very open about, yes, I talk about God because I don't want anybody taking my stuff and then all of a sudden being shocked that now I talk about God. No, from the beginning, you know, yeah, I'm going to talk about prayer and yes, we're going to have a prayer meeting. And, you know, I make sure to let people know right up front, that's what, I have big lips. Janice, I wish I had big lips. Oh my gosh. I've thought about getting those lip injections, but then I'm like, I just feel like this all the time and I just don't know if Okay. That's another story as well. But yeah, so it doesn't matter. And again, it's like Gretchen said, you don't always have to be online. Another little tip I'll give you for Facebook Lives that people really I don't hear a lot of people teaching about this, but when you're on a Facebook Live, you have to give about 30% more energy than you normally would. So like right now, the way I'm talking is not how I would be talking to my husband or my daughter. Like right now, even though it seems like I'm just talking normal, it's energy. Like I'm giving way more energy to make myself look alive for this Facebook Live because it just takes more energy. So like when I get off of a Facebook Live, I'm usually like, I hit end and then I'm like, like this sigh of relief, like, oh my gosh, and not because I didn't love it, because it's just a lot more energy. So when you see those people that do Facebook Lives and it almost looks like they're like have no energy, they're probably just speaking like they normally would. So what I recommend is when you do a Facebook Live, it almost feels like you're being this, character. I mean, it's weird. Like when my family walks by when I'm in the art studio, I'm like, I'll give them a look because, they're like, here she goes, because you have to put more energy in it to make yourself look halfway alive on a Facebook Live. And again, that takes time. So again, if you saw my earlier stuff, you'll see that I'm like, yeah, let's wait for some people to get on. Yeah, it's that. But now I'm like, no, that's not how we do it. Like we do it like this, and so you have to give that energy towards it. And we'll talk about that too. And that's all just a part of, an online business. It's not like I'm trying to be fake. I'm just trying to make sure you can see that I care, and on camera, it looks different if you just do the normal. Isn't that true, Gretchen? It's kind of a weird.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I think it makes a big difference. And it keeps it exciting for people to watch too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have a couple technical questions as far as equipment for editing. Is that something you talk about at all as far as editing videos?
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so once we get everybody in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a survey to all the people who have purchased Paint Party Outer Limits. Now, I have the guideline of what I want to teach you and what I know you need to know. But somebody, asked about mini chat. Well, I'm not going to be like, yeah, mini chat's great, but I'm not going to show you a thing about it. No, I'm going to try my best to, if you ask a question, to show you what I feel like you need to know. So yes, I use iMovie. And, I have a Mac. And so if there's people out there that use iMovie, I could do an easy, quick tutorial for that. So there's things like that I could show you. And there's also things that I'm going to tell you that you don't need. So a lot of times people think like, you've got to have this edited or it's got to be this way or that way. A lot of times people are wasting their time on the wrong stuff. The stuff that doesn't make them money, the stuff that doesn't matter. And I don't know about y'all, but a 2-hour video editing, and if it doesn't matter, I'm not wasting my time. When I had somebody tell me before, they said, you better not put stuff on YouTube that was been on Facebook Lives. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, YouTube's a different audience and they don't want to hear you saying hi to people or answering their questions. And I thought, okay, I ain't got time for 2 videos. Like, I don't have time for that. I mean, I got a paint party to get ready for. I got this, I got that. I want to see my husband, whatever it is. And so I was like, no, I'm going to do it my way. And so I just started, when I finish a Facebook Live, I would just take that, download it, put it on YouTube, and go about my business. And it wasn't until now I have a team, which I'm very thankful for. But before I did everything myself. So I feel like that's why I'm in a unique position because, I've done all this and could still, to this day, I don't want my team to go anywhere, but if they had to go somewhere, I could still run the whole business. It would suck because it's a lot of work. But, I know all the ins and outs of that. So yeah, it's like there's things that people will tell you, and then you have to, even me, there's going to be things that I tell you, and then you're going to have to make the decision, do I want that to be that way? Like, there's many, many ways to run an online business. I'm going to tell you the things that are working for me and that are successful and that are working for all of my online friends right now. I'm going to tell you those things. But if you are like, I don't want to have a YouTube channel, You don't have to have a YouTube channel. Oh, and Gretchen, I think I figured out how to do TikTok without me doing TikTok.
Awesome.
I'll just tell you about it later. I'll tell you all about it in Paint Party Outer Limits. Yeah, but you know, there's some pressure of, you know, trying to be on every single platform. Well, I don't want to be every 5 seconds on every platform. Like, that's not how I want to live my life. And so you have to make decisions like, you know, how fast do you want to grow? What do you want to do? You know, how do you want to make your money? There's many ways to do it. I'm going to give you the ways that I'm doing it that's working, but I'm not a person who, like, you know, my Instagram, I don't post. Like, that's somebody else doing it now. I used to do all of that, but I don't, like, I know I need to be doing Instagram stories, but I don't make my money through Instagram stories. Not yet. So I have a hard time, you know, every 5 seconds, oh, there's this, there's that, there's that. So I just get, you know, somebody that I pay to do my Instagram stories for me. So that may change later. So I'm not telling you like one way is the only way. Things change in the online space. But right now I know how to make money through a certain method. And that's what I spend 100% of my energy on. I'm not a person who just disperses my energy everywhere thinking maybe those will, I don't have that. I don't have that in me. And I advise you to not try to disperse your energy through every channel. When you do that, you end up diluting everything you're trying to do, and you can't get any momentum. When you can't get any momentum, then you're just stuck. Yeah, you're on every platform and it looks good if somebody was to find you, but it's not bringing you anything. So I'm all about, like, you know, just like I teach in Paint Party Headquarters, a profit every party. When I do a Facebook Live, there is an intention for it. You know, I've been off of Facebook Live for 9, 10 days, 11, 12 days maybe. And I just went back on because I'd been sick for like 9 days. But when I went on, I was like, okay, what's the intention for this? It's not just to be on a Facebook Live. Like, what is the intention? How am I going to help teach? How am I going to help inspire? How am I going to help serve? So you have to remember, like, when you're looking at this, there's many ways to do it, but also to know that when you're listening to somebody, make sure you're listening to people, because there are tons of people out there that will tell you how you're supposed to do stuff. And I look for results. So anytime somebody says like, oh, you should take this training, I'm like, well, what are her results? Like, what has she got going on the other side? And that's how I make my decisions now. And we're used to, I'm just like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Or they said something great. And I think that's no, like I kind of go past what they're saying and look at their results in their life. And if they have the results I want in their life, then I sign up with them or listen to them or follow them or whatever. So hope that helps. And as you can tell, I'm an oversharer, right, Gretchen?
Never. I did want to say, Kathy in the comments said as soon as we get off of here, she's signing up for Outer Limits.
Yay, Kathy! Can't wait to help you.
Yeah. What you were talking about, Kelly, hopefully Kelly's still on, because she had a question earlier that I wanted to make sure and go back to. She is pretty much brand new to all of this. And she said she hopes that what you're talking about is how to teach painting online or crafting online. Her question was, but how do you monetize a Facebook Live paint party?
Okay, so what you want to do, and again, we will go through this through a 6-week course, right? So what I'm going to help you do is try to decide what you want to teach, what you're passionate about, and what problem you can solve. So it has to be a twofer. It has to be like paired up with something, okay? So, and that could be, maybe you're doing a craft, maybe you're teaching painting online, maybe whatever. There's so many different things, but we'll talk about niching down. We'll talk about, you know, taking something that you have and how can you make it special? How can you make yourself stand out in the marketplace? And then how are you going to be able to monetize that? Because you have to have an end goal in mind. So when I first started doing Facebook Lives, like I said, I didn't know I was going to end up teaching people how to make money teaching paint parties. I didn't realize that was going to be the end goal. But as I started getting more comfortable online, as I started realizing, because when I first started my online membership, I was between the fact of teaching painting or teaching people how to teach paint parties. Those were the two that I was battling with, and I was struggling. I was like, what am I going to do? And then it just kept every time I thought about just teaching painting, my stomach got knots. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel like, because I know I'm not the best painter, but marketing and teaching paint parties, like those mixed that's where I shine. I feel like that is what I was born to do. Like, when I'm in the middle of a paint party, I am in my happy place. Like, I love paint parties with a passion. And so once I made that decision, it's like everything started feeling better. Like, oh my gosh, yes, that's right. That's right. But then it takes a while to get it going. It just takes time. You got to build an audience for it. What was the question? I'm sorry.
If you're teaching online, how are you making money?
Oh, okay. So then once you build an audience for it, once you realize what you're going to teach, then you build an audience for it. Then you offer, for example, a course like Paint Party Outer Limits, or but again, you got to solve a problem. You got to help people. Again, it's not just about, oh, come watch me paint or come watch me craft. Then you got to figure out, do you want to do a membership? Again, that's why I feel like this is bridging the gap for you to take Tribe. Okay. Being very open about that. Once you learn how to start building your audience, doing all of that, then I strongly suggest you to take Tribe, because that again is where everything changed for me. So yeah, you can offer courses, you can offer boot camps, you can do anything like that. But again, you have to have an audience. It doesn't matter how good you are at anything. You could be the best painter in the world, the best shell artist like my mom. You can be the best anything. But if you do not know how to build an audience and to collect an email and to communicate to that email and to retarget that email and all of the things that are going on in Paint Party Outer Limits, it doesn't matter. Like it literally does not matter. So yeah, so that's how you monetize it, is through learning those channels. But again, I want to be very clear. In 6 weeks, you won't learn everything. Hold on. Sorry, I'm muting everybody. In 6 weeks, I'm not sitting here saying in 6 weeks you're going to start making money. It will be awesome. If you already have a good start, yes, it could happen. If you already have the start of an email list, you already have, several thousand viewers, all of that, then yes, it could happen, because you're going to learn the ads and you could start retargeting. But guys, this is really the base. This is like getting you started. So this is not a course where I'm like, you're going to take it and in 6 weeks, you're going to make your money back. No. Paint Party headquarters, you pay $35 a month. Yeah, you can technically have a paint party in 3-4 weeks and make way over $35. It happens that fast for paint parties. But this does not happen that fast. And I tell you this with total upfront honesty, because I feel like there's so many online people out there that are just trying to make a sale. They're like, yes, do this. It's easy. This will happen, blah, blah, blah. And if you've taken any online course, it's not easy. It's not that fast. It takes time. But once you figure it out, once you figure out the way to do it, once you figure out how to communicate, and again, this is where we're building the foundation, that is when, if you're willing to go, okay, this might take me a year or 2 or 3 even, but man, what could happen in 3 years or 2 years is insane. But it takes tweaking. I'm totally honest with you. It takes doing something. Did it work? Okay, let me tweak that. Let me try this again. Did it work? Let me tweak that. Oh, me and Gretchen right now have been working on an evergreen funnel, which, I'll tell you all about in the course. But it took tweaking. I would wake up and go, I got to refilm that. Like, I'm missing something totally. And I'd come in and I'd refilm. There's actually in the funnel there, I put on the same shirt, but I had my hair curled in one video and I had it straightened the other. And I went in and I showed out. I'm like, I wonder how many people are, y'all might notice it now if you go watch it, but I'm like, it's what it takes, waking up going, oh, this could be a little bit better that way, or I could tweak it this way, and I'm still perplexed about that and still working on it, Gretchen. It's still in my head every 5 seconds. But, there's things that, you just keep tweaking and keep working, and then it just happens, eventually it happens. But it's the people like you that are consistent and know it's not an overnight thing. And the people that are just trying to get rich quick, this is not for you. It's not. You're going to be disappointed. And it's the ones of you that want to make something long term and know the potential that's out there. Like, it is insane. I mean, Gretchen can speak to this, but there's so much potential. And so many times people think, well, we're all doing the same type thing. We're all teaching something crafty or artsy or whatever. Guys, there's 7 billion people in the world. You're online. Like, some people are going to relate to you more than they're going to relate to me. Some people don't want to look at my lip, my bottom lip. They think I'm annoying because I overshare and talk a lot. And that's fine. Those aren't the people for me, but they might be the people for you. They might like your lips better. I don't know. But Gretchen, can't you, tell, like, it's insane what's out there that people just don't know.
Yeah, it sure is. It's really exciting. And I think the other thing that we all have to keep in mind is that we're a small group of people that's even talking about this. There's so many people out there that haven't even thought about the online space. We're really at a point where we're ahead. There's so many of us doing paint parties, and there's so many of us lugging all our supplies out. And it's fun. We love it, but it is work. And after time, you start to look for other things. And Kelly had said, Kelly is still on, which is awesome. She's the one that asked the question about monetizing. She said she has a successful paint party company, but she's starting to wear out from all the travel. And so this is perfect for her because she is thinking about what's the next step. Where am I going to go next? And, you hear about Blockbuster and Netflix, and, everything was Blockbuster, and we all went to the movie store, and now we can get it all online, and we sit at home and we're able to do that. And, that's the way the world is going. And we are so ahead of the trend right now. Yeah. It's really exciting.
Yeah, it's so cool. And that's the thing too, like, I'm not stopping paint parties. I mean, I got 2 scheduled this month. It's not like an either, you have to do this or that. Like, and I'm not a person either that's like, stop this. I'm never that person that's like, quit your full-time job and paint parties is going to be forever. Like, I'm never that person because, of what happened to me and with us losing everything. I'm really strategic about, I will almost rather double up and do 2 full-time jobs to make sure one is stable before I go to the other. Like, that's how conservative I am with steady income now because of us being in that financial place. And I think that's where, my honesty comes in. I'm here saying, yes, this is what I can teach you, but I'm not a person who's like, yeah, spend all your last dimes and do that. Like, I'm not that person. I know that it's right for some of you at this time, and, I'm offering it, but it's not like I want you to be in a spot. But, Gretchen's right. She's, we both see that, there's not people talking. You try to talk about this with people in your family, they glaze over. Nobody knows what's happening. I don't think my family still knows exactly what I do. Like, I just tell people I teach paint parties. It's just easier. It's just easier to say that because they kind of understand that because they see me online and they see my paint parties. But yeah, people just don't get it. They don't understand it. And when I think about that, I think about, man, nobody understands it. So there's only a few of us out there monetizing it because nobody understands it, and there's so much potential. And it's not coming from a place of, oh my gosh, we're going to trick people into giving us money. No, we are giving a service. You are providing something valuable that they need. When people come into Paint Party Headquarters and pay $35 a month, they are getting more than $35 a month. Oh my gosh, if I had somebody that would, when I first started paint parties, hand me over a tutorial every month, a marketing hack, a social media hack, all of these things, in a bow and say, here, Heidi, this is how you do it. Oh my gosh, I would have begged for somebody. Like, I remember staring at the tipsy artist in Oklahoma and going, one day I'm going to be like her. Like, one day I just want to be like her. Like, I just, idolized her and wanted to know everything she was doing. And I would pause her videos and I would see exactly what was on her table because nobody was teaching that. And I just fumbled through and learned and made mistakes and did every wrong thing in the book until I finally figured it out. And I thought, man, if I had somebody, like that would be insane. So now that I offer that, I know that $35 is nothing compared to what people are getting. You know, I know $35 to some people, and I know in my life, $35 has been a burden before, but I know the value of like, okay, I can teach, 10 people and make $350. Well, of course, $35 is worth that, right? And so, and again, being on top of that. So I think it's just a matter of like, this is kind of that next step. If you've been teaching paint parties or been thinking about doing something online, like this is the next step to get you to Tribe. Whether you want to take Tribe this year or next year, or maybe you don't at all. Maybe you want to do this and then do something with Amy Porterfield with courses, but you still need the foundation. You still need to know how to build an audience, why to build an audience, how to build it right, how to build it targeted so that you can speak to the people that are interested in what you have to offer.
And I think you've really found, and I think you've said that your online business has really helped your in-person business, and your in-person business has really helped your online business. And I think, even with you being able to try out different things in different places has really helped for you as an artist as well.
Yes, and I think the coolest part is the paint parties that was my full time. So it was like, that was what was paying my mortgage, my car payment, those were paying my bills. And now because of the place I am in my online business, it's like there's these opportunities for travel for paint parties, and it's almost like I get to have some more risk with that. And it's okay if it doesn't work out. So for example, I'm trying to teach a vision board on January 30th. I've never taught an in-person vision board party ever. And I thought, you know what, let me try it. Let me see if it's going to work. And if it's working, and I know we're running ads to it, if it works, then I can share that information with Paint Party Headquarters. Okay, here's exactly how I did it. Here's how it worked. Here's how I know how you can market it, all of those things. But if it falls flat, you know who I'm going to tell first? Paint Party Headquarters, abort, don't do that. It sucks. Nobody signed up, And so it's allowed me to be able to take some risk. And it's also allowed me to be able to go, okay, and it's hard to say no to paint parties. When they're coming in, when you get to a point where people are asking you to teach the party and you're not really having to go find them, it's hard to say no because you're like, well, that's $1,000. Like, why would I say no to that? So I really struggled this fall over doing too much because it was hard for me to say no because I've always been in the habit of the paint parties bringing in the bulk of my money. And so, y'all saw I was busy. I was doing paint parties. I was going up steps like Mr. Burns, couldn't carry my bags, I was just going because I'm in that habit of that's my season. That's busy time. That's when I go. And it really hit me hard this year because, we did Paint Party Business Live. We did a couple of launches, and then I just went into full season like it was normal in addition to delivering with Paint Party Headquarters. And so I think sometimes I'm kind of at that point now where I got to go, okay, I got to limit 2 parties a month and calm down a little bit on that so I can make sure I can give Paint Party Headquarters all the attention it needs. So I think it's just a matter of like figuring out what you want, where do you want to be in 2 to 3 years, and then going from there. So I don't even know if I answered it.
You're doing great. We'll keep you on track.
Keep me on track, Gretchen.
Kelly had said thank you, and she also said, wouldn't it be nice if there was a surprise opening of Paint Party Headquarters at some point? So we're not saying anything, but make sure you're on the wait list. There is a wait list on Texas Art and Soul. Make sure you are on the Paint Party Headquarters wait list, and you'll be the first to know if there is a surprise opening coming up.
Oh, good. I'm glad, Julie. She messaged me privately. I guess I shouldn't read it. She says privately. Okay, what else? Do we have any other questions?
I think I am at the end of my questions, unless anyone has any more they want to pop in that I might have missed. We're about an hour and a half in, and those of us on the East Coast, we're looking at 10:30 right now, so just keep that in mind.
And my voice is about to go out.
We'll listen to you all night. But if anyone has any questions, oh, you know what? There was Brene just remembered, or I just saw that she commented again. One of her questions, which was very sweet, she had asked if my services and Kelly's services are available to Paint Party Headquarters and Outer Limits. I think she meant more like on a regular basis?
Oh, okay. So I know Kelly and Jill, they're Luminary Studios. They're doing the deal for Paint Party Outer Limits. I don't know if they're doing it. I'll have to ask. But she's a VA, so I hire her. So I'm sure she has openings for people, but I know this is like a special deal she's doing for the free gift. So usually when I do a lot of ClickFunnels, but I have to pay $100 a month, and I create my own. And then when I have big things happen, so like the Outer Limits, when you go to look at that on that link, Kelly created that. So that's like an opt-in page. So it's like a website, for example. So it just depends on, I don't know if she would do it for her headquarters. Plus it's like, it's speaking about online stuff, and I don't want to confuse people in headquarters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you were just saying was that offer, if you joined Outer Limits, to do the one-time deal.
Yeah. And I don't know if she would do more than one free gift at that price. The 97, I mean, I can ask her, but I think it's just for one, because usually she charges 147. So basically, I just want to recap real quick, and then if you see any last minute questions, Gretchen, I'll answer. So basically what happens is it's not starting until February 3rd. So this course does not even begin until February 3rd. So everybody take a breath. Nobody has to learn anything this month. We're just getting our words of the year together. Our paint party started. So no learning the crazy stuff yet. February 3rd, we start, and it's Monday training. So I will alternate. So I'll do like a Monday morning, then I'll do a Monday night, then I'll do a Monday morning, a Monday night. I work better I don't know, I guess it depends on when I sleep. It doesn't matter. But I'll make sure that whatever training I do, if you miss it, you get the recording. So the recording will be put in the Facebook group, which will be available for 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, it's archived, okay? It's going to be a group where all of us are in for 8 weeks. We can help talk to each other, all of that kind of stuff, answer questions, things like that. But after 8 weeks, the group is archived. You will still have access to the live trainings. So the live trainings will be me teaching and you asking questions. So I'll say, okay, here's what you need to work on this week. This is very important. This is why it's important. And this is what I want you to do this week. So it's almost like you'll have homework every week. And again, it's homework. It's up to you to do it. You know, I'm going to hold you accountable and be there to help support you and guide you. But ultimately, this is your business. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. Sometimes some of you may already be a little bit in this game, but you just hearing it from somebody else or hearing a different way of doing something. I know I've had, business people in the past that have told me something that, one tweak made all the difference. And I was like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been doing that? It's just the way I heard it different. So, so each week you'll learn that new set of things. And then you'll practice them, you'll do them. And then as far as like getting your gift together, then if you want to do the free opt-in gift for the $97, you'll pay Kelly for that. And then her team will create that for you. But you still have to come up with, and that's where I'll help you. You still have to come up with what you're actually going to offer. But yeah, I can help you with all of that kind of stuff. And then after the 6 weeks, it'll be open for a couple more weeks just for follow-up, things like that. I'll probably do a bonus Q&A, things like that. And then it'll archive after 2 months. And then the goal is, honestly, and again, is to get you to take Tribe. The reason why is because that is what, once all of this happened, everything came together once I took that. So again, you might be at a level where you don't have an audience yet. At the end of your 6 weeks, you still feel not ready, or the end of 8 weeks, you still feel not ready. That's fine. It may be where you wait a whole nother year and you just practice the skills that I've given you. But honestly, guys, I'm telling you, once you get that foundation, by far, that is the best money I've ever spent as far as return on investment, return on, making everything click. And it really was. And, I've had people tell me well, why don't I just teach you how to do a membership? That's not my skill set. I'm really good at Facebook Lives. I'm really good, as y'all saw, at getting emails now with me and my Facebook angel named Gretchen up here. And, I'm really good at that stuff. But as far as teaching a membership, I'm learning that. I'm still in the midst of that. So my goal is to bridge that gap and get you there. So,
And
that's pretty much it.
let me interrupt because that was one of the questions Elizabeth had asked. I think she came in a little bit late too, and she had asked, what is tribe? So you may, I think some people understand what you're talking about, but I think she missed when you were saying bridging the gap to tribe. She didn't know what tribe was.
So tribe is what I take, and Gretchen's taken it. You're taking it this year too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she takes it every year too. It's basically a 8-week course, and it's like drinking out of a fire hose. So it's my business coach that I do, Stu McLaren. Tribe, if you've never heard of him, start listening to Marketing Your Business podcast. It's a free podcast, but I mean, I binge listened to all of them. I had a couple of paint parties a couple hours away, and I literally listened to all of them in just a day or two. And then I went home and tweaked so much of my stuff just by listening to his stuff. But basically it's a 8-week course, and I think it's about it's probably 2,500 this year. Do you think 25, 2,600?
I'm guessing between 2,000 and 2,500.
It's a pretty expensive course, but again, I promote it because I've seen the results and I truly believe in it. But the reason that Paint Party Outer Limits exists is because some of the people I promoted to last year, I saw a huge gap in them not knowing what was going on with the audience to online marketing, like this huge gap. And so I just want to bridge that gap for y'all. So that if you do take Tribe, which again, I highly recommend, but you're ready for it and you're ready to hit the ground running, and you don't feel like a deer in the headlights, like, oh my gosh, what did I just get into? And how is anybody ever going to do this? Because it literally is drinking from a fire hose. It's awesome. It's wonderful. And if you're ready for it, it's perfect. But if you're not ready for it, it can be very intimidating and very overwhelming. And you really are going to be, I just don't want you stuck. And that's the worst feeling. So.
Yeah. And someone had asked earlier about monetizing teaching online, and that's what Tribe, that's one of the ways that we learned is how to build an online membership group. And that was all through Tribe and membership and having people sign up monthly, like what Paint Party headquarters is.
Yeah. Did anybody hear of paintvault.net? That was one of my businesses that failed miserably. Like there's things that you do, that nobody hears about, that you do and you try, and they don't work because, again, I didn't have really an audience, and I built this beautiful website, and I had all these collaborative artists come in and just all the, thinking it was going to be the answer, and it just went flat, like not one sale. I was like, what the heck? This is beautiful. Why is nobody buying? And then once I learned the tools to figure out how to make everything I was offering into something, not only that people could pay for, but that they were going to get value out of. So it just really helps. Let's see.
And the open cart period time is until the 2nd?
February 2nd. Yeah, so
Okay.
You have a month. You have exactly a month to sign up.
Okay. And someone was asking about the 2 payments. If they did the 2 payments, when would one be due? When would the other be due? How does that work?
So as soon as you sign up, the first one's due, and then it comes out the very next month. So whatever date you sign up on, the next one comes out the next month. So if you do the full pay-in option, it's $100 less. So it's $497 if you do the pay in full. If you do the 2 pay, it's $298.50. So it's a little bit more if you do the 2 pay. And then that's the thing. I did not want to tell you about this and say, okay, you got 4 days to sign up. Because I know sometimes it takes some time to get some money together, especially for something, this is way more than Paint Party headquarters. Paint Party headquarters is $35 a month. That's an easier decision. I understand that, but I do want y'all to know that what is being given in this course is definitely worth the value. When we talked about the pricing, and I know that it's a lot, but I'm telling y'all, and if you can't tell in this hour and 45 minutes, definitely overshare, and definitely will answer all of your questions. So I just want to let y'all know that you're in good hands. And I just, for those of you interested, I want to get you to the next spot. And I know that it's hard, and I know that it's tough, but I just feel like there's this responsibility. If I'm going to talk about Tribe, I feel like I need to set y'all up to be ready for that. So
Yes, and Elizabeth was asking, Tribe is only offered once a month, and so, or I'm sorry, once a year, and same with Outer Limits, that will only be offered once a year.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a lot. I mean, I can see why Stu only offers it once a year, and I know why I'm only offering it once a year. I mean, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of dedication on both parts, you know. It's again, it's not something where you can just do it once or twice and you start bringing in money. It's not like that. So I want y'all to know that it's not for everybody. I see somebody asking, what if you're older and not computer savvy? That's why we have Kelly. Kelly makes the page for us. If you can do a Facebook Live, you're good. And yeah, there will be things that you learn that will kind of that you're going to learn. I mean, you gotta learn. You gotta start somewhere, and you either have to have the money to pay somebody to do it, or you have to be willing to spend the time to learn to do it. So I know I've done both, and I still do both. There's some things that I just still devour and I can't take my hands off of it because I just want to be a part of it. And then there's other things where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to let that go. But when you're starting stuff, you got to wear all the hats. Like when you're starting something from scratch, you know, you are doing all of it. I mean, that's just how it is. And a lot of it you're creating, you know, we're the secretaries for our paint party business, for everything, you know, and we know that, but it's a part of it. And again, like Gretchen was saying, and like I was saying, you know, I compare this to the gold rush because nobody knows it's out there. Like you talk to somebody and their eyes glaze over, and it's because it's so new and it's the way it's going. So you think in 10 years where everybody's at, and you're like, man, I'm glad I started that. Like, man, I'm so glad I was doing that then. And then just being a part of it and knowing that, you know, there's things that change, there's things that move around, and that's why it's once a year. And that's why the videos after a year, I'll probably take off just because I don't want you to in a year go, oh, that's valid. That's the same information. No, things change online. And I want you to know that it's not always going to stay the same. And another thing I want to tell y'all, and again, I'm not trying to push you into taking this, to not taking this. That's your decision. That's totally your decision. But I think sometimes people think that opportunities will always be there. I think sometimes people think, well, if so-and-so offered this, she'll do it forever. You know, like Paint Party Business Live. We're going to do it again. It was a lot of work. Oh my gosh, it was so much work. And but it was so much fun. It was so fun. But you know, a lot of times people just automatically assume every opportunity is always going to be there. So-and-so is always going to teach that. And so I just want y'all to remember that, that it's not always like that. You know, like if I do this and, you know, I want everybody to have success and to have that foundation. But if it feels like nobody got anything out of it, like I'm not just going to keep doing it to do it. You know, I'm going to of course tweak it and make it better and try to make sure I'm doing things right for y'all, because I want to give you the best value for your money. But you got to know that, you know, who knows how long, you know, Stu's going to do that. You know, the guy is blowing up. Like, you know, I want to learn from him as long as I can. And we don't know, you know, what if he all of a sudden his searchy app goes crazy and then he decides to go live in Hawaii. Like, we don't know what'll happen. And so I think sometimes we forget that, you know, these people might not always be teaching this. And so I just know from my standpoint and from what's happened with my family, it's definitely, Tribe is definitely the way to go if you're trying to make money online.
One thing I thought of too when you were talking about the group and that it's 6 weeks and then it'll be open for 8 weeks. When you archive it, they'll still be able to see everything. They can watch all the videos. That will be for an entire year, correct?
Yes. Yes. So
they'll have access to it.
Yeah, for an entire year. So you won't have to go try to find it in your email and all of that. So you'll have access for an entire year. And you can see all the past conversations. You just won't be able to make comments. There won't be any activity happening. Yeah. What else? Anything else?
I think we got to everything.
Yay, under 2 hours. Man, thank y'all for holding on, holding in there. Y'all are hardcore.
Oh, Rachel had a question, and I'm not sure what she was asking. She wants to know how many Facebook groups you can have. I don't know if she means,
I think a lot.
I think as many as you want. I don't know if she wants to have lots and lots of Facebook groups.
I
How many would you want?
Yeah, me and Gretchen do not advise a lot of Facebook groups. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know some of my clients have a private Facebook group that is for paid members, and then they have a free group that is open to the public. That's usually a bigger one, you know, with more information and more, everyone's kind of all over the place. But yeah, I think that's probably about all you would want to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't advise having a lot of groups. I've actually gone back and forth, and I don't have like an open Facebook group that's not paid. Like I have my Texas Art and Soul, and then I have a paid group. But you know, a lot of people have told me I need to have a free group, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like I'm just like, you know, because again, it's the way you want to do it. I might change my mind next year, but this year I'm like, I can't handle all that. You know, you have to know what you can handle and what you can't handle. And you have got to make sure you are not comparing yourself to others while you're doing this. And so we'll talk about that during Paint Party Outer Limits, because, you know, even my group that we're kind of, you know, building our businesses at the same time, you know, we can get in a comparison game all day, every day if we want. And you have to remember not to do that, because everybody is on a different path. Everybody's at a different stage. Everybody has different family things going on at different times. You know, I've been really great with Pixie doing tumbling, and with Bobby and his new job, that Monday through Thursday, they're pretty much gone at night. So, you know, my working, you know, I have that, you know, overwork mentality where, you know, I can work during the day, do what I need to do, and then they go, and then I'm here by myself, so I can keep going if I want. And so it's been really great for me, especially as the business has really grown this past year. But I know when Pixie's off, you know, I want to make sure I have more time for her. So I think you have to think about like what stage you're in, where you want to be, what you want your day in and day out life to look like, and not compare yourself to other people, because people are going to grow at a different rate. And it's just, again, back to what Gretchen said, it's still all the beginning. We're all still in the beginning. If you're on this call, you are still at the beginning of this race. So just give yourself some breathing room there, and just know that you're still ahead of most of the universe right now. if you're thinking about doing something like this. All right. Anything else?
Everyone's saying thank you. I think they got a lot of good information.
Oh, good. Well, y'all are so welcome. Thank y'all for being here. I know this was a long call. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew what it was about, why this was being offered, the difference between Paint Party Headquarters and Paint Party Outer Limits. Two totally different beasts. You know, so those of you that are in Paint Party Headquarters, you know, if I was to try to start teaching online stuff, first off, for $35 a month is not the price point. And secondly, it's just a totally different way. I mean, two totally different ways of marketing everything. So so I just want y'all to know that regardless if you take it or not, I want y'all to have tons of success in whatever you do. Regardless if you take it or not, listen to Marketing Your Business podcast, you know, start thinking about the possibilities of what could be, and then just know that whatever you decide, I just wish y'all tons of luck, and I wish y'all tons of success. And I want y'all to remember that whatever you decide, especially those of y'all that are out there, the praying kind, I want you to know, like, this is a great way to share God's love. And it's a great way to use the gifts he's given you to, you know, for his glory. So I always try to bring it back to that. Like, how can we use God's love? How can we serve others through God's love? So I want you to remember, whatever you decide to do, I'm, you know, excited for you. And I hope that you'll take Paint Party Outer Limits, but if you don't, no hard feelings, but I just want you to know it's there. And you have an entire month to decide. So there's an entire month to decide, and we're here for you. If you have questions, just, you know, email me or send me a message, and I'll try to get to it, and we'll go from there. All right. Sound good?
Yes. And Melissa asked, is there going to be a replay? My job after we get off of this call is to start an ad for all the people that want to see this video again. The ad is going to be going out to all of you. So you will see the replay many times. It will be in your email. It will also be in an ad in your news feed. Yes, there will be a replay and you will see it.
And that ad that she's doing is what we're going to teach you in Paint by the Outer Limits.
Exactly. It's full circle.
It's all full circle. It all goes around. So yeah, she'll be able to do that. Okay, guys. Well, I hope y'all have a great night. And again, thanks for being here. Thanks for taking out time on your second day of 2020. Way to start it off right. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time, and we'll go from there. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.